Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambeau channel. Former SEC Director William Hinman was speaking under oath just the other day, questioned by Ripple's attorneys about a number of things. We can make some assumptions about what some of those questions would have been, having to do with, for instance, why he gave the speech that he gave in June of 2018 about Ethereum giving it clarity. And as it turns out, whatever was discussed there is being kept from the public, and it will be for an indefinite period of time. But the good news is, in all likelihood, at some point we are going to know perhaps everything that was said, but even if not, certainly some very important pieces. And so I'll explain to you why that's the case. I've got this story from Finance Feeds titled, SEC vs. Ripple, William Hinman deposition cannot be accessed for now. And they end up citing attorney Jeremy Hogan, who of course runs the YouTube channel Legal Briefs, and I'll assume at this point most of you are well aware. Also, I wanted to cover with you the train wreck that is crypto media. There are two stories from Cointelegraph today that have misinformation about Ripple and XRP, and I want to talk about that a little bit. But before we go any further, I want to be clear, I don't have a legal or financial background of any kind. I am not offering legal or financial advice, and you should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. I'm just an enthusiast who enjoys talking about Ripple and XRP and crypto, just as a fun hobby, but that's all that's going on here, damn it. So into this first piece now. The importance of William Hinman's deposition to the SEC vs. Ripple lawsuit is yet to be determined, but his role in the SEC's digital asset guidance, including a 2018 speech in which he states Ether is not a security, is driving the industry and the market's attention toward the testimony. And by the way, if I could just state before even going further, indeed this testimony, it should be very important. Like, even if he's stonewalling and just refusing to answer questions, that's just going to strengthen Ripple's position in the opinion of attorney John Deaton, and I talked about that in a somewhat recent video. His opinion is that that's not going to look good in the judge's eyes, that the judge is probably going to bring the hammer down if that's the case. And on the flip side, if he does answer questions, there's a good chance that this is really going to play favorably for Ripple. And John Deaton said that William Hinman actually could become, quote, Ripple's star witness, end quote. I like that. I hope that he does become Ripple's star witness. But anyway, I'll continue now. The deposition of the former SEC Director of Corporation Finance has taken place yesterday, July 27th, but since it was not a public hearing, it couldn't be accessed by the public at the time, unlike other hearings in this lawsuit. Though Jeremy Hogan, a popular attorney within the XRP community, clarified the situation and explained how William Hinman's statements are likely to become public in waves, ultimately being filed in its entirety at some point, with some exceptions under seal. And here's a quote from him. Hinman deposition frequently asked questions 1. The deposition is not a public hearing. You can't listen in. 2. A deposition is a sworn testimony and can be used just like the deponent was in court. 3. In this case, the deposition will be used in Ripple's motion for summary judgment on fair notice. And 4. You will see at least parts of the deposition in Ripple's motion, or perhaps even in the individual defendant's briefs. 5. I would expect the complete transcript will be filed at some point. The transcript should not be under seal, although parts of it might. Yeah, and so you got to wonder, because there's always going to be these claims, I suspect anyway, based on what I've heard from other attorneys, or not other attorneys, I'm not an attorney, but attorneys in the XRP community, that the SEC, highly likely, when this deposition was occurring the other day, highly likely invoked privilege when questions were asked by Ripple's attorney, just so that William Hinman, if the court buys it anyway, William Hinman then wouldn't have to answer specific questions. So if the SEC just doesn't want something sounds potentially a little bit risky for them, maybe a skeleton comes out of the closet if William doesn't answer the question quite right, they just claim privilege. My gosh, no, this is sealed information. We cannot have this out, even known by Ripple's attorneys. No, we can't do that. And so I'm sure, I think highly likely in a way that they would have made those types of claims. Anyway, the piece continues though. Prior to the hearing, both parties had reached an agreement on how to approach the deposition without the SEC objecting to most of the Ripple Counsel questions. It remains to be seen what happened or not, but we will probably get an idea soon, as soon as Ripple files its next motion to the court. The stiff resistance from the agency to this testimony has led many to suspect the SEC has something to hide. XRP holders attorney John Deaton, they linked to an article here. So John Deaton, he is the attorney, of course, as I assume most of you are aware, that is seeking to intervene in the SEC versus Ripple case on behalf of over 19,000 XRP holders now. And so it's pretty clear the SEC was desperate for the deposition to not go forward, but it did. Oh, too bad, so sad, SEC, womp womp. Now, I think I had two more comments. Yeah, from Jeremy Hogan. Oh, yeah, here we go. Somebody named XRP Phil asked Jeremy Hogan, how long before the deposition makes its way out, Jeremy? And Jeremy said, I would say that we probably won't see the entire transcript of the deposition until summary judgment briefs are filed in November. But I think we will probably see parts prior to then because I can't imagine there won't be issues for the judge to decide on privilege objections. And then there was this also. Jeremy Hogan said, Section 5 and the fair notice defense should be decided at summary judgment because there's no real issue of fact for the judge or a jury to decide. I think if Ripple loses, the bigger exchanges like Coinbase will register to sell securities and have a monopoly on XRP. Which is an interesting concept. And actually, somebody named Crazy Joe responded to that and wrote, Coinbase already has a license to sell securities. That's why I never understood why they delisted it. Well, I can answer that question, and I think I already knew that Coinbase is able to sell securities. I could be misremembering, and so Crazy Joe could be wrong, and I could be misremembering. I think that's true, though. And so I can answer that question, though, because, yes, again, Coinbase already has a license to sell securities. That's why I never understood why they delisted it. Well, yeah, so Coinbase, even if they have a license to sell securities, they can't just sell unregistered securities to the general public, which is what the SEC is claiming it is, hence the problem. And so even if they're allowed to sell securities in general, it's not the case that every security can be sold to somebody who's not an accredited investor. There are all sorts of securities where you have to meet the in the United States a pretty high bar, and I believe the requirements are you have to be an accredited investor, have a net worth of over $1 million, or be earning at least $250,000 per year. I believe that's what the requirements are. And so right there's no way, unfortunately, that XRP was going to continue to be listed on Coinbase. And then into the next topic now. Oh, this is a fun one. Freaking Cointelegraph. My gosh, I like some of the work they do, but they have some writers where it's just like the bias does more than bleed through. At least that's what it looks like to me. Now, generally speaking, and it does apply here, I like to give people the benefit of the doubt and assume that they're not operating in bad faith unless I see they have a track record of operating in bad faith. So there are a couple of mistakes that were made in two articles in a matter of like hours apart. And it's just the way I look at it is, okay, I'm going to assume these are mistakes, hope that these are mistakes, and then if you don't fix the mistakes after it's made clear by endless notifications on social media from people that read your articles, if it's not fixed after that, I'm going to assume that you don't think it's a mistake. And so here's the first one. There's this article from Cointelegraph titled XRP price skyrockets by 17% as double bottom chart pattern takes shape. I think that's the full headline. Yeah, that's the full headline right there. And so I was reading the article, and I made it to like this is either the first or second sentence. I just cut this out of the article, turned it into a graphic file, and uploaded it here. Here's how it reads. XRP price swung higher on July 28th as its parent company, Ripple, entered an agreement with SBI Remit to back a remittance corridor from Japan to the Philippines. Think about this. You have a crypto media outlet, one of the most well-known in the crypto space, saying that a cryptocurrency has a parent company. XRP has a parent company. That is stupid. STOOPID, stupid. I mean, it's kind of funny, though. Like, it is funny that somebody would publish this and think that they're not going to get called out and think that they don't sound ridiculous. Because, if they're writing this, and well, if it's intentional, then they are jabbing, and I'll explain why. And if they don't, then, okay, fine, you made a silly mistake. Fix it then. And so I tweeted that to Cointelegraph and wrote, XRP is a decentralized cryptocurrency and does not have a parent company. And so what is a parent company? Just to be super duper clear, I want to make sure we're all on the same page. Here's Investopedia's website. What is a parent company? It reads as follows. A parent company is a company that has a controlling interest in another company, giving it control of its operations. Parent companies can be either hands-on or hands-off owners of its subsidiaries, depending on the amount of managerial control given to subsidiary managers, but will always maintain a certain level of active control. So there you go. A parent company is a company that has a controlling interest in another company. It doesn't say that a parent company is something that manages or owns or has a controlling interest over a cryptocurrency. It has nothing to do with cryptocurrency. It has to do with businesses. Now, even if it did have to do with centralization, then Ripple provably doesn't have any special permissions over the XRP ledger. And so I called that out, and then I wrote, you guys at Cointelegraph do understand that cryptocurrencies are not businesses themselves and do not have parent companies, right? I encourage you to fix this. And then they also made this mistake. This is in a separate article. This one was titled, Japan to test Ripple's on-demand liquidity service for money transfers to the Philippines. And you can see that's what's on the screen right here. Only problem is Japan isn't testing Ripple's on-demand liquidity service. They're using it, which is very different. They're not thinking, oh, I'll give it a whirl, see if we like this. No, they decided that they want it, and they're using it. So more misreporting. 2 articles in a matter of hours. And so then after that, I was like, okay, there's the second one. So I tweeted out the following. Hey, Cointelegraph, I've noticed your writers are on the struggle bus today. It's okay, we all have those days. Japan will use Ripple's on-demand liquidity, not test. Your other article also stated that XRP has a parent company, Ripple, but cryptocurrencies don't have parent companies. Maybe fix, ? Which is why my inflection goes up like that. And so good news and bad news. Let's start with the bad news first. On this one about XRP price skyrocketing, they write 17%. They have not fixed that to this point. They still insist that XRP is a parent company. So at this point, I know that they have seen the critique. It's been retweeted by so many times, and not just by me, by so many people in the XRP community. They absolutely have seen this on social media, and they've not taken action. So at this point, all I can do is make assumptions, and I'm guessing that the author here, Yashu Gola, believes that XRP is centralized and that Ripple controls it. And then as a result of his belief of that, he incorrectly stated that XRP is a company and that Ripple owns XRP, the company. That's all I can assume. Like, seriously, XRP is a company, he thinks. Okay. The good news, though, on this other one, they did fix their mistake here. So they took the word test out of the headline. They now write, this is from Cointelegraph, Japanese remittance firm to use Ripple on-demand liquidity for money transfers to the Philippines. There we go. So that one was probably perhaps an honest mistake, hopefully just an honest mistake, unless they wanted to like soften the impactfulness of what was actually happening, maybe. But they did fix it. So the other one they want to stand by, they think that XRP is a company because a parent company can own a company, but that has nothing to do with whether or not they have controlling interest or not controlling interest over a cryptocurrency or use a cryptocurrency. It has nothing to do with that whatsoever. So right now, Cointelegraph, at least one of the writers and maybe their management, they do believe that XRP is a business itself, which is owned by another business named Ripple. That's apparently what they think. What in the ever-loving hell is going on here? Folks, this is why we cannot have nice things. I'll go ahead and wrap up there, though. I'm not a financial advisor. You should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo.